So I just got home. It's like midnight, just about midnight. And I ended up, I feel like the message here is about balance. Because I was thinking about routine, right? And it has to be okay on some level to skip a workout here and there. I've been really driving for 7 days, but that goal is still going to be there next week. And I did it. I did it last week. I did 7 days. I didn't burn out. The reason that I skipped today was because I had a birthday party and I had to go. This girl always goes to my birthday parties, so I felt obligated. It was fun though. I'm glad I went. And it was also an exercise in moderation because I drank. I had a couple drinks. It was like 3. But it was enough for me to know that after Halloween, it wasn't a matter of control because I had 3 drinks on Halloween and that got me pretty schwazy. So I don't know if it was alcohol content. Maybe these drinks were just like less strong. That could be it. But it wasn't a matter of me losing grip or anything like that. Oh, and I met somebody new. There was a new person in the group that I got to know a little bit. She's pretty cool. And I feel like I actually gained some ground in the bonding with others situation. You know, like this is the family friend group. And I feel like we actually got some closer ties, some interactions that were a little bit more personal. It's almost like we've broken through in a way. And it doesn't all happen at once. It's not overnight. But it was gradual. Over time, and after creating some distance here, suddenly we are getting closer. Maybe distance is exactly what needed to happen in order to get closer. It's an interesting concept, but maybe it was a matter of boundaries, a matter of barrier. Separation makes the heart grow fonder, is what I heard. And then we've got the Nine of Wands. It could be that distance after like a year and a half of effort was exactly what I needed. Which is interesting. Oh, and anyway, back to the point. I was going to be late for the party if I worked out after work. So I went to work. I got out of there. I went right to the party and didn't get home till midnight. Like I can't use the sunroom right now. I just watered everything, so everything's full. I can't move things around without spilling some water from the trays. So my new plan is I'm just going to go to the gym tomorrow. So this week I'm going to be going to the gym Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that's going to be the 7 days. I'm going to be making up this Sunday tomorrow, which would normally be active recovery. And after doing a couple more calculations yesterday with the Navy formula, I think it's safe to say that I did lose about 0.5% body fat last week. That's the trend data. And I'm starting to think if the caliper's not changing like that, it wasn't a big enough jump. And if the measurements are in flux because of things like a difference in circumference around the navel, then I'm not going to be able to accurately measure using that formula. Like maybe if I did it completely fasted, it would be fine. But if water weight or if food eaten is going to be something that changes that dramatically, even in one given day, then it's not going to be accurate enough for me to use consistently like the way I'm trying to. Which leaves impedance data. And while impedance data is also not super accurate, none of them are. Which is, I think, the moral of the story. I'm going to have to rely on trend data still. So it doesn't matter whether I'm actually 29%, whether I'm actually 28%, whether I'm actually 30%, 31%, it doesn't matter. What we are looking at is the trend over time and the loss from one week to another, which is accurate enough. I'm able to see changes like that. Overthinking how much progress we're making is not going to make the progress more. Just like overthinking, how long was that happening? I don't know. But overthinking is not going to make the process go any faster. And overthinking about relationships or connections or friendships or any of it is not going to make those situations grow closer or come in faster, be better. At this point, right now, where I am today, that's obnoxious. At this point, right now, where I am today, I have no idea what's going to happen next. Who is going to actually show up and show out for me, for themselves, for this? I have no idea who's going to bring the energy, who's going to communicate authentically and honestly, who's going to be bold, because that's the energy we're in. We are in the energy of bold and bright and beautiful. And that is the energy they are going to have to bring, and authentic. They're going to have to bring that same energy. And the test is reciprocation. Does it flow both ways? Do they ask just as much as you do? Is it flowing? Or are you trying to connect? There's going to be things that mark the path here. There's going to be signs that you need to be on the lookout for, but I'm not sure exactly what they are. There's going to be ups and downs, but it's not just about seeing the ups and downs, it's about the trend data. Things don't happen overnight. That's the message here. Things aren't going to happen in this connection that is coming in for you overnight. But you are not looking at the ups or the downs. You're looking at trend data over time. Even if it takes a couple weeks to establish rapport before you're comfortable enough to maybe go out, which you might have to be open to pushing your boundaries on. I had rules that I wouldn't do. I told myself I wouldn't go to a restaurant. I wouldn't go to a concert. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. But we're being guided to remain open and focus first on developing that comfortable communication, that comfortable rapport with both words and touch. Because those are where we usually trip up, right? Conversation and energy exchange. We are being guided to establish easy conversation before there's ever even a date. Because once we have easy conversation, then it's just changing the setting, and that should make it continue to be comfortable. Whereas if we already have trouble creating comfortable communication, and then we take it into a date setting, we're compounding things that are uncomfortable and maybe blocking the flow. But touch. When the energy is good, I never really have trouble with touch, but I do have a tendency to move fast. And this time, we aren't moving fast. And we're not going intentionally, painfully slow either, but there should be a certain amount of respect exchanged and a certain amount of intention when it comes to this, because, like I said, it's been 5 years. I'm not in a hurry. But I do want this. I want it to be right this time. That's exactly what we'll have. The correct situation, the correct person, the correct series of events, the correct speed. And it's not something that we have to, King of Cups and the Sun.